Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Before starting my video, if you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please do, and do not forget to turn on notifications as I'm sharing every week great contents for you. Alright guys, in this video we will continue invoices. Before starting our content, I would like to talk a little bit with you. These days I'm really busy at the moment at my work, so I'm producing less video. I'm truly sorry about that. I'm trying to my best to help you guys, and I will continue every week with one or two video again. But I'm trying to make it 2 video, but sometimes it can be 1 video like last week, and hopefully you will understand my current situation. Okay, now let's continue where we left. Let's have a look quickly to our project. By the way, I opened my MVC project and my API project as well. This is the API. Let's make it minimize. We don't do anything about API. We're just gonna run the application once we need it. Let's get back to MVC and let's see what we did our previous lesson. Our Docker is open. Let's run the application first and see what we did, but because it's been a while, I don't remember what I did last week. Let's see. And okay, we created invoice controller. Client control is already done. I remember that one. The invoice controller. Okay, we finalized get all invoice for company section. Yep. Let's see the app just in case. If I remember correctly, we are directing ourselves to client. Oh, we didn't run okay, we're going to receive the error because we didn't run our API. Let's run the API as well. Oh, because we are receiving our data from our API. Yep. Let's refresh the page. Here we go. Alright, so we have just create invoice section, and if we have an invoice, if I remember correctly, we're able to see the button as a list invoice. Okay, when we click it, we didn't design it, we have page not found. Perfect. Let's start create invoice section. Let me explain something starting because I did some scenario in my head. Let me blur my background. Okay guys, so we have a create invoice button, right? So the design is going to be like this. So we're going to have a page, we're going to have a drop down, we're going to select the product from here. Oops, stop here. Okay, product, and we're going to have another button here, add. Once we click the add button, and there is a list of our products will be located here. Okay, so let's say this is brick, and here the prices, tax amount, total amount, net amount, whatever we want, we're going to see them all. Once we click add, it's going to be add for the next line, next line, next line, and we're going to have a remove product here, and we can add and remove our product to our invoice list, pure invoice. We didn't save it yet. This is going to be a draft invoice list, and very bottom or very top right hand side, I'm going to put another button here to cancel or delete this draft. Let's type for now cancel. Okay, so when we click that button, our draft will be removed. It's going to be a little bit tricky. We're going to use IMemoryCache to keep our products in cache memory, and we're going to make them a list. Once we completed everything, we're going to have another button here. Okay, let's type here. Great. Okay, It's going to be, as I told you before, as I mentioned before, it's going to be a little bit tricky. That's why I didn't put just video and explain you. I'm going to type and create the code step by step with you. It's going to take a little bit time, and I will try to make it really slow to make you understand, and it's going to be a great lesson. I think in this video we're going to finalize the get section, and also as an addition, you can consider this as a bonus. I'm going to use an AJAX request from client side, which is very useful. And next lesson probably we're going to continue with the post method. Okay, now I'm going to delete my screen. Let's close it. Okay, let's close the application. First of all, we need a template, I guess. To create a template, first of all, let's go to controller. Let's have a look at our invoice controller. So we need actually a get method here. So let me think. Okay, I did a preparation before a lesson. Let's have a look together. So so create invoice for company. This is what we're going to create. Okay, let me put aside. I'm going to take a look while creating this method. Okay, let's try to type together, guys. It's going to be a HTTP get method. You can explicitly type get, HTTP get. Okay, you can type here as well. Let's show explicitly all of them. Okay, let's type HTTP get again. Public I action result. All right. Let's say create invoice for company. Create invoice for company. Oh, we don't need to say for company. Just say create invoice is going to be all right, I think. But we use for company suffix here. Let's use for company as well then. Okay. So we need some parameters, which is going to be ID. Okay, this ID is going to be the client ID, guys. We can type here client ID here as well. It's going to be much understandable. Client ID. Let's get inside. Okay, first of all, we're going to add here our cache memory operation, but not yet. Cache memory operation, because we need to get our data from our cache memory. This is how it's going to work. Alright, so we're going to return normally our view, right? Okay. It's going to be an empty view. Let's go. We're going to fill here, and the view going to have our invoice create DTO with the edit invoice items comes from cache memory. But for now, let's create everything empty to make you understand better. Then we'll be all right. Okay, let's put it down. Okay, perfect. Let's leave as it is. The command like this. Perfect. Okay. Now, right click on your create invoice for company. Let's click add view, reserve view. Let's add. Let's create. I'm trying to be very slow, guys, to make you understand, and I'm trying to remember because the codes I show you here. Let me show you again. I created those codes last week, make a preparation, and it seems a little bit complicated to me. Actually, it's not complicated for me, but I thought it might be complicated for you because this is a beginner guide. So instead of showing this is that, I would like to type with you here in the video, and I'm going to explain step by step very slowly to make you understand. Okay, first of all, we are creating invoice. So we have a model. Let's add our model first. Add model. Oops. Create invoice, or what was the name? Invoice create. Invoice create DTO. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is okay. Let's take this to put in our Weave imports. Perfect. Let's close it. Alright. Let's build our list first. I will go our get all clients. We can copy this table. Let's take all of them and paste here. Let's change the name, create invoice. Perfect. I'm gonna get a copy from my, okay, not that one. Okay, let's type all of them step by step from zero, from scratch. Okay, do we need an ID? Let me see. We don't need ID. I'm gonna delete the ID. We don't need company name because we already have a company name. We are creating invoice product name. Oops, what happened here? Product name. Okay, after product name we need a quantity. All right, net amount, tax amount, total amount, and actions. Perfect. Very nice. So we have invoice create DTO. We going to have invoice items here. We're going to iterate those invoice items. First data is the product name, is the name. The second one is quantity. The third one is net amount. Do we have any? Yeah, this is the price. We have price. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, we just have price. Let's have a look at the DTO. Invoice item create DTO. We just have price. Okay, these are created automatically. So we can we edit here? Because we shouldn't edit here because it's going to be created. Okay, I'm gonna use those logics in the view in here, because we're not gonna send those data anyway. It's going to be created automatically in API side. This is going to be just visual. Okay, we just do the calculation here for now. Net amount is going to be, okay, actually we need the price here as well. Quantity, price, yeah, price is done. Name, quantity, price, name, quantity, price. Then net amount is going to be, let's put @ sign, open your parentheses, item dot price multiply quantity, item dot quantity. All right, net price is done. Let's make the tax amount. So we're going to multiply this number. 20% is the tax amount. What is the problem here? Decimal and double. If I make it M, okay, it converted to all decimal, I guess. Let's continue. The total amount is going to be price multiply item quantity This is the tags. Let's copy this section. Alright, let's put another parenthesis here and here, and plus open another parenthesis, item price, item multiply item quantity. Okay, let's control KD. Perfect. We can make it best practice methods. When we completed our things, we can do refactoring. For now, let's see the results as like this. Okay, then we need actions, right? So let's delete those actions. If else, we don't need those here anymore. Let's delete one of those buttons. All we need is a remove button. Okay. Control KD. Invoice, get all invoice for company. Let's make it remove items. Actually, I'm gonna make it empty because I'm going to use Ajax request for removing our company. Let me think, should I use Ajax or normal? I mentioned about to use Ajax, but okay, let's leave it for a second. And when it comes to creating remove items button, we're going to consider using Ajax or normal action. So we're going to send item. Do we have item ID? Let me have a look quickly. Okay, I'm going to delete all of them just for now. Okay, add a graph to not to collapse, and remove item. Maybe we can leave the remove item for the next lesson, because I'm going to show you how we can add and update our method using IMemoryCache. Let's save it. We're going to update it later. Okay, let's put a comment here. How we can comment like this? Yeah, perfect. We will add this comment later. Okay, let's keep it here. Perfect. So the next one is, okay, we don't need this anymore. So we have, okay, we don't need ID here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Perfect. And we're going to create invoice and update a cancel invoice. Let's create the in buttons, but I'm gonna leave those all empty. It's going to be created for future lesson. Let's put our empty graph. I'm just doing preparation for future lesson as well. Okay, let's create invoice. Okay, let's delete this invoice. Delete. Okay, perfect. So we have a template here. Only we need to add a drop-down list, and this drop-down list has a form, guys. Now we need to use Ajax for this one as well. Okay, let's create a form here first. Okay, let's give an ID for this form. Let's say item upload or item add. All right, method is going to be post. Perfect. Now let me have a look what I did previously for this form. I gave list upload actually name, but it's okay, we can use item add. So we're going to create drop down, and we're going to create a quantity section, then we're going to add a button. Okay, let's put aside and let's code it step by step. First of all, I'm going to create a division. Let's add a class. We add margin bottom 3, and then we're going to add a select. Let's give a class select who's going to form select to make it much more good visual. Okay, then let's give an ID here, product select. Alright, we need to give our products here while we're sending invoice create detail here. Okay, we need to give our product list. Okay, then let me have a look quickly. So we need to add our products. Yeah, we need to add our options. Actually, the option is going to be, yeah, the default value is going to be empty and selected. Select an item. This is default text comes through. Then we're going to use for each, and we're going to return all the items what we have here. Let's save it here. Now let's go back our controller and send our all product list comes from our MVC. Okay, we're going to use our products we already created in MVC project. Let's go controller now. There is a couple of ways to send it back. We can create another view model. Normally we send in here create invoice create detail. We can change it. We can create a new view model. Let me show you. It is just going to be example. Let's say public class. Let's give a name just model, and it's going to contain public invoice create detail, invoice create detail, and it can also have public product list view model. Yeah, then we can return this model here, guys. Our model, return this our model here. And how can we do that? We need model, and we're going to assign invoice create detail and product list view model together here. But now I'm not gonna use that one. I'm just showing you all the ways, but I'm not gonna use that one. I'm gonna use view model, which is not a best practice for now, but it's going to be easy way for me. Alright, let's delete it. Let's delete these two. I'm showing you all the ways. You can choose which method you would like to use. Okay, first of all, we need our product service here, private read only. We have generic services for products, if I remember correctly. Generic service, and it is asking us entity product. Entity is okay. Let me make it a little bit bigger for you guys. Okay, product, and list view model is product list view model, product create view model, and product update view model. Let's say product service. Okay, let's add the parameter in our constructor. Is it the one? Yep. Let's add it. Now let's get our product list here. Var, or let's say view back product list equal product service dot get all items. Let's open our parentheses. It is asking us, do we need to add our categories? Let's add the categories. X the category We add the categories and let's make it to list. Okay, we got our product list in our hands now. Let's send it here now. So we're going to use for each. It's going to be product, and the collection is going to be our view back dot product list, but we're not able to iterate because the model is not known. If we do the other scenario using the view models, it will be okay. We're able explicitly show which model is coming through, but this product list is going to be dynamic, so the return value is going to be product list view model, so we can force cast the view back model to product list view model, right? Let's get back here. Let's make a force cast product list view model. Let me have a look. And a problem here. Okay, that's because this is list, not just product list view model. Okay, now it's all good. We have our product list view model in our hands, guys. This is for each item, so this whole collection is a list. We're iterating every product right now. Okay, let's create our option now. So the value of each option comes from our product. Value is going to be at product.id, and as a name we're going to show product.name. Perfect. So we're going to select the item, and we're going to click add button. It's going to be added to our list. Okay, let's add our quantity section. I'm going to copy this whole thing and let's delete the option. Okay, we have our division here, and let's add a label first. It's going to be form label again. And let's give a name. It's going to be quantity. Perfect. And we can give a label for this as well. We didn't give. Let's say product list. Okay, so we have quantity here. Let's continue. We're going to add our input. Type is going to be number, and let's make it the class from control. Let's give an ID, which is going to be need. I'm giving ID for all element because we're going to use them in JavaScript side. Quantity. I think it's all down for input. Perfect. Let's add our button now. Let's give a type. This is going to be a button. Let's give an ID, add product button. All right, and let's give a class btn dash success. Yeah, let's give success. Anything else? I think that's all. Let's say add product. Perfect. Our form is completed. Before creating our Ajax, let's see the form, how it's look like. Alright, if I run without any debugging, let's see invoice, create invoice for company. Let's view in browser. I just would like to see how it's look like, but I'm not quite sure if it's work without debugging. But let's see. Okay. What is telling of an instance and object? None of the expression for each model invoice items. Okay. Let me have a look here. Invoice items. Okay, we need to run with the whole project, I guess. This is where's API. Let's run the API and run the app. It's not here. Okay, we need to change the name of create invoice because it is going to be for company, I guess. Let's get back our get all invoices from company. Let me have a look now. We invoice, remove invoice. Where is the get all invoices for company? Is that the one? No, not that one. We need to see the clients. Okay, get all clients. Yeah, this is the method. The ASP action name is must be exactly same. That one. Let's run the app again. Is it running? Yeah, both of them is running now. Okay, let's go clients get all clients. Let's create invoice. Okay, we have a problem here. Why we're receiving null objects? So because we don't have any invoice items here. Okay, what I'm gonna do is if it's null, I'm going to assign an empty. Okay, let's create here a new create invoice create DTO invoice. Where is the invoice? Oh, we need to stop the app first. Okay, new invoice create DTO. Okay, let's delete this command now. Invoice items. Just for now, I'm adding an empty list. Okay, this is going to be empty list, not to get any error messages. Okay, let's run the application. We're going to add the logic here as well. Do not worry about that. I just would like to see the template first. Client get all clients. Let's create the invoice. Okay, perfect. We have add product section, create invoice, delete invoice, add product. We're going to, as you can see, we have only one product here. We're going to select it. We're going to give the number how many we would like to add. Once we click the add product, it's going to edit our draft list. Okay, let's build our draft list first. To make that, we're going to create an Ajax request. I'm just thinking, should I create the Ajax request first or should I create the method first? Let me have a quick look my previous drafts. Okay, we can actually, let's create the controller first. Okay, let's create the controller first, and I will implement the memory cache as well now. Let's implement the memory cache first, guys. To do that, private read only IMemoryCache, and let's say memory cache. It's really easy to use memory cache, by the way. Do not worry about to use it. It's really useful. but you need to know what you're doing exactly. Okay, not that one, sorry. We need to add parameters. Perfect. Let's get back our program CS file. Actually, we have an extension for this, right? Let's have a look at our extensions. Let's add services.add memory cache. That's all. We add our services and we used it in our DI container. Now it's able to use. First of all, when we would like to receive our list, we're going to get that list from our memory cache. First of all, okay. Now I'm going to create my memory cache operation here, guys. Let's make it tidy. Okay. First of all, let's get var cached list. Okay. Let's make it more meaningful name. Invoice list. Or we can say draft or cached. It's up to you. I'm gonna keep it as a cached. I'm gonna call my memory cache method, repository, whatever you called. So we're going to use try get value method, and let's have a look what is looking us. It is asking us a key and object basically in this overload. Let's have a look at the other overload. We can give a type as well, but I'm not gonna give a type. I'm just gonna give a key and value. Okay, so we're trying to get a value, so we're going to look our memory cache a key. I'm going to give invoice draft list. Okay, this is important. Our memory cache method is going to look the memory cache location to find out our draft list, which is called invoice draft list. Okay, so it is important. While we're trying to create one, we're going to use the same name exactly. So let's make it best practice. Let's add a constant. Okay, private const string invoice cache key invoice draft list. Now it's really easy to use. Now instead of using string, we can use our const coming from here, so there is no chance to make it wrong. Okay, this is our key. Then we need an out object. Okay, we are using out keyword. It's going to be like try parse try convert try to int, something like that. It's really similar. We're going to use out keyword, and the return value is going to be list invoice item create DTO, because we're going to save our draft list invoice item create DTO. Once we create this one, we're going to jump over the other one. Okay, you're going to understand, and it can be null invoice items. All right, so we get our cached invoice list. This is the boolean, by the way. This is the result, and this is our return item. Actually, let's make it cache invoice item here, and let's make it result here, because this is going to be result. Okay, let's have a look at our result. If result is let me think for a second. If the result is false, we can return an exception, maybe. Actually, this is null, right? Okay, I'm gonna check this one. All right, I'm going to check true false option. If it's needed to be add a false or true check, I'm going to add here. Okay, not to forget, check true false options. Okay, now I'm going to check if it's null or not. If it's null, I'm going to assign this cache invoice list as an empty object instead of null. All right, perfect. So we have a list, empty or full. We have a list in our hands now. Now all we need to do, guys, is, let me think for a second. Yeah, we're going to assign our invoice create DTO here. We have client ID. Why we didn't use this client ID here? Okay, we need to send client ID here because we need this client ID for all operations, if I remember correctly. Okay, so invoice items is going to be now, instead of empty, cache invoice list. Basically what we did here, we get our memory cache, we get our list. If we have a list, we're returning the list. If we don't have any list, which means if it's null, we're going to assign an empty list and we continue, because the initial creation of an invoice, we might have an empty list and we don't have any cached list in our memory cache. It can be returned null. So if it's null, we're just assigning this empty list and we're returning an empty list, not to get an error message, and we're going to add items to empty list to make it full. All right, this is completed for now. Now let's continue with our Ajax method. Let me open my board again. Let's make everything clear for you guys. I'm trying to make it really slow to make you understand. Okay, we have our page here. We have product list. This is our form, product list. And we have add button here, add product. All right. So we're going to type here a script. Ajax request, and it will send the request action method. Okay, let's say this is our controller. Okay, we have an action method, main http get method for all pages, and we're going to have another http get method for Ajax request, http get for Ajax. Okay, let me show you how it's going to run step by step. Once we select our product and once we add our quantity, once we click the add product list, it is going to be listed by this script, and once we did our operation, our script will be triggered and it sent the related data to our http get for Ajax. Once we receive the data, we do the process, we do the everything what we need here, then we save the data to cache memory. Alright, once it's added to cache memory, It's perfect. Then all we need to do is refresh the page, right? So what we need to do is return main http get. Okay, we are returning main http get, and then it's going to get the list from cache memory. We already save it, and it is going to return it to our draft list. Let's use another color. Never mind. This is draft list. This is basically how it's going. The workflow is how it's going to be work, guys. Okay, we created our list. We created our table. We created our main methods. Now we're going to create Ajax action method. All we need to do, the last one is going to be a script. All will be connected in each other and will work. Okay, let's make it non-visible. Let's continue to create Ajax method. Okay, http get public I action result add product to list. So yeah, it's a reasonable name. So we're going to send a product ID, and we're going to send quantity, and we're going to send client ID, which is needed for defining which client this invoice belongs to, which client. Okay, client ID. Perfect. Just consider these parameters are sent by our Ajax request. We're going to build our Ajax later, guys. Okay, first of all, let's find out our product. Var product service get all items. Should I use get all items, or do we have get by ID? Get item by ID. Yeah, we have a get by ID. Let me have a look quickly. Do I need the category now? Let's use get item by ID. It returns product. The problem is it returns product update v model. I don't need product update v model, so I'm gonna change it. Get all items. Let's add the category as well, and first or default must be the product ID. Okay, we get our product, returning product list v model. Perfect, because we're going to do listing method for products. Actually, yeah, we found our product. Now let's create our invoice item. Var invoice item new create invoice. Actually, it's that invoice create. Always doing wrong naming. Invoice. Oops, my bad. Create invoice item create detail. Okay, this is what we need. Let's get inside now. So it's going to be name. It's going to be product or name, and we have a price, product price, and we have quantity. Quantity comes from quantity. Okay, what we did here, we received our product and we assign the product name, and price comes from product, and quantity comes from the user. We assign the user. Okay, this it's coming nullable. So if we have null, and let's put a null. If product is null, we're going to throw an error. for now, let's leave it as it is. We're going to handle the errors later. So we created our invoice item, right? So let's continue, guys. Now I'm going to try to create an invoice list. Okay. First of all, it might be a first list, first item, second item, or 10th, or 100, 50, whatever item can be. Okay. So we're going to get the list again. Let's get all list. Okay. So we get the list now. After we get the list, we're going to add the item cached invoice list dot add invoice item. Okay. If we have a previous list which has item, only we need to do is add new item. If you don't have a new one, if it's an initial creation, we have an empty list and we're going to add the item to that initial empty list. Okay, perfect. I assume you understand this. Now once we add our item to our list, now we're going to set it to the cache memory. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue with the memory cache dot. We're going to use a set method. All right. So we need a key, which is we defined invoice cache key. All right. Now we're going to give the item. The item is going to be cached invoice list. Perfect. You can finish here. It can be okay, but you can give a time, because approximately 30 minutes is going to be enough for create an invoice. So after we finalize, I want my memory cache dispose the draft. Okay, so I'm going to give an option here, new memory cache memory cache options. Is that the one? Yeah. Let's make absolute expire relative to now. Let's make it time span. It's expecting to a time span, guys. Time span. Let's make a minutes. 30 minutes is going to be enough for creating an invoice. Okay. So we create our new invoice. Perfect. All we need to do is redirecting to our main get. Okay. Return redirect to action to get invoice for company. The controller name is invoice. And should I send? Okay, let's send client ID as well. New, because it is asking us a client ID here. Actually, am I using this client ID anytime here? HTTP get list. I never use this client ID. I'm just returning the client ID in each other. Actually, I need this client ID while creating our. Okay, this is a need. If it's a creation initial creation, we might need it. Okay, let's pass the client ID. It's needed. Perfect. Alright guys, all we need to do is now final collection. Let's have a look again. So let me select a list. This is completed. This is completed. And we created our draft list as well. HTTP get for Ajax is completed. Now all we need to do is write a script, connect our form with the Ajax method, and it's going to be flow like a river. Let's continue now. Let's save everything. Let's get back our view. Where is my view? Is that the one? Yeah, this is the view. Create invoice. I know I never mentioned about the whole my playlist about scripts, but it's really useful. I'm suggesting you use at least to learn basic jQuery and JavaScript methods. It's going to help you. Now I'm going to type a really simple one. It's not a big deal. Okay, first of all, to use a jQuery, we need to list in our documents, guys, and not that one. Okay, I create a script. As you can see, this is the script. It's a really easy one. I'm going to show you step by step, and I'm going to tell you with the commands what is that for. Okay, so we're going to list in our documents first. Okay, this is a jQuery initial. You can consider the jQuery initial start for scripts. Document ready function. Okay, we're going to put everything in this document ready function. Okay, perfect. Now all we need to do is we're going to add an event listener for this button. Once the user click that button, we're going to take action here. The button is add product button. Okay, we're going to use these keywords to get, okay, what's the name of the button? Add product button. Okay, guys, this keyword and the naming exactly catch the button. Then what we're gonna do with that button, we're going to add an event listener on click. Then we're going to add a function to this click operation. Okay, let's get inside this function. Okay, I'm just gonna read what we did here. Once the document is ready and once the user click the add product button, do this function. Okay, let's explain do this function. First of all, we need to get ID var. Let's use let instead of var. This is the much more better keyword. Product. It's same as what we used in our C#. Product ID. Now we need to select the ID. Okay. We're always using same pattern to select some ID. So let's get back our, where is our product select. Okay, as you can see, we have a select drop down list and we have an ID. We're going to catch this one. Now, oops, not that one, sorry, we didn't copy. Okay, let's copy this one. No, we did catch our drop down. Now we're going to get the value. Simple. We get the value what we selected from our drop down, and it comes the value of product ID. So we have a product ID in our hands now. Perfect. Now let's get the quantity with the same method. Let's quantity. As you can see, I'm using all the time the same pattern. It's really easy. Now where is my quantity? Yep, here. Input quantity. Let's take it. And I'm just going to get the value of it. Okay, I got the product ID, I got quantity, and do we need anything else? No, I don't need anything else. Let's type our AJAX request now. It's really easy. This is going to be get request. Use your $.ajax. Open your parentheses. Open your curly parentheses. Let's enter. Okay, this is your pattern for AJAX request all the time. So we need to give URL. Let's make it empty for now. Let's finish template first. Then put your comma, go the next step. So we're going to put our type, which is going to be HTTP GET or HTTP POST, and it's going to be GET method. By the way, you can use double quote or single quote, but I'm used to use a single quote for JavaScript. You can use double quote as well, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we have URL, we have type, and we have success. So if we get a success, we're going to receive a function which has a response. Okay, we do the operation if we get a success result. Okay, then I'm going to add location dot reload method, which is if we receive a successful message, we just reload the page. That's it. Anything else? I think that's all. All we need to do is add our URL. Okay, the URL is simple. You can use URL action link, URL.action method, or you can use normal query string. It's up to you. Now I'm going to use normal query string. I'm sorry. Let me have a look. Invoice controller. The name of the controller is invoice. I'm gonna close this anyway, I don't need it. Okay, let's get back. Invoice slash, the name of my method is add product to list. Add product to list. Okay, now we're going to add a query string. One of our friends add a comment to my one of video in ASP Core Basics, and he is asking me, or she probably he is asking me, why do we need to add a query string in our project? Now it's time to use query strings, guys. It's really useful. Put your question mark here. Then we have, let's have a look, product ID, quantity, and client ID. We're going to give them step by step. Product ID equal this product ID. Okay, there is another trick here. If you remember, we have a string interpolator. We're using $sign in our C# to add our variable in our string method. But in JavaScript, we have same thing, but usage a little bit different. We're receiving these codes, single quotes. We're using another type of single quotes. Okay, use that one and use your curly brackets and put a $sign in front of it. Now we're going to add our product ID here as a variable. Perfect. Now we gave our first query string, then use and sign to add second one. The second one is quantity. Quantity must be equal $sign quantity. Perfect. The third one is going to be client ID. Okay, no, it's going to be $sign. The client ID comes from, I assume it comes from our model, right? At model dot client ID. Perfect. So we're going to send all three parameters to our controller now. Perfect. I assume all set now. Let's save everything and try the application. I'm gonna try it first. If we didn't get any errors, if it's working, I'm gonna put a breakpoint and show you how it's flowing. Let's run the application. API is working. Perfect. Actually, we don't have any business with the API right now. We're going to make everything in memory in our MVC side right now. We're just going to create a draft list for invoice for today, and next lesson will include remove items and post methods. Okay, let's delete everything. Let's go to client. Let's create an invoice. Okay, select an item break. Let's make it 10. Let's click the add product. Okay, it's not coming. If it's not coming, and if you don't get any error, the best the worst thing is we have a problem on JavaScript side. Let's have a look quickly. Console reference error $, is not defined. It means we didn't add jQuery in our project. Okay, let's close the app. We need to add our jQuery in our project. Let me use web jQuery CDN. Let's type it and find out. Okay, jQuery, the latest version is that the one? Uncompressed, slim, minified. This is the minified, I guess. Okay, let's get these. You can copy all of them actually. Let's copy all of them. Let's get the old scripts. And let's go our navigation page. Where is our? Okay, let me find out. My area, where is my area? No, we don't have an area. Okay, let's go our view. Shared layout. Okay, we have jQuery as actually. Why it's not working then? Okay, let's copy this jQuery to top of the page. Maybe it's okay. Our render body here, right? So our script is located here, but jQuery is located down there, so it's not loading. I think I'm gonna add my jQuery here. Okay, we don't need CDN, we already have in our library jQuery. I just add it to the top of my site and it's going to work now. Let's run the app and let's see the results. This is all about location, I assume. Let's create invoice, select break 10, add product. Here we go. Tax amount is 5, net amount is 25, the price is 2.5, total amount at 1. Okay, this is this is my command. Okay, we're going to delete it later, it's alright. Let's add another one with the different quantity. Let's make it 50. Okay, it's coming accordingly. This is our draft list. Okay, let's put a breakpoint here. Let's see the flowing invoice controller. I'm gonna put a breakpoint here. First of all, I'm adding a new product here. When I click add, as you can see, add product is triggered. Okay, we get the product. If you can see, we get the product here. We create our new invoice item here, guys, with the name, price and quantity, and we are going our memory cache. We're going to get if we have any list. If you don't have, we're going to create a new list. In these circumstances, we have a list. Yeah, result is true. We have a list, count 2. As you can see, 2 objects located in our invoice list. Let's continue. We add the item here. It's become 3 item. Now we're going to set it to memory cache. Continue. Okay, now we will continue here, I guess. Just in case, let's put a breakpoint. Let's use F11. Here we go. We are here, main get section. Now we're going to get our drop down list. We get our drop down list here, just one item we have, just brick, and we have a memory cache method here. We're going to get our list. If we have a list, we're going to use it. If we don't, we're going to create a new one. Let's have a look. We have 3 different items in our invoice list. Now we are returning again our client ID and invoice items with 3 items. If I continue, here we go. This is our draft list. Alright guys, I assume you understand what we done in this lesson. Next lesson I'm going to add remove item. So we're going to remove product from list operation, and I'm going to delete draft button. We're going to design it, and if we have time, we're going to go through with post method, and we're going to post this invoice to our API. Alright guys, I assume you understand what I'm trying to teach you in this lesson. If you liked the video, I will be really appreciated. It really motivates me to create new contents. Take care of yourself. See you on next lesson. Bye bye.